Okay, in this lesson we're going to look at how to talk about reasons or purposes
네.
in Korean. So we
네.
can just use this suffix so,
네.
right? So we can tag this on to verbs, adjectives,
Noun.
and nouns as
Right,
well.
네.
Okay. So it changes a little bit when we
네.
use nouns.
네.
All right. We'll see examples of that.
네.
To start with, Robert, why don't we go to our conversation between Betty and Minsu?
Sure. 민수 씨, 어제 왜 학교에 안 왔어요?
Mm-hmm.
배가 아파서 못 왔어요.
Okay. All right. So Betty is asking Minsu
네.
about yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Minsu, why didn't you come to school
Right.
yesterday?
Right.
So 어제 is yesterday.
Right.
왜, why? 학교에, so school and our place marker. 안 왔어요. So 안 negates the verb here, 왔어요. And
네.
again, talking about the past. Now, because Betty uses the verb 오다,
Mm-hmm.
we can assume that they are at school,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So in Korean, we only use 오다 when it's talking
Right
about the
there.
place where you are.
Right.
So you can't use 왜 안 갔어요?
Right.
Why didn't you go?
Right.
Okay. All right, so they are at school having this conversation.
Right.
Minsu's reason for not going to school yesterday?
배,
Stomach, right?
stomach in
Yeah.
this case. 배 또 다른 뜻 뭐 있어요?
Pear.
Pear,
A
네.
bear as well? No,
네.
sorry.
boat.
Gom. Board?
예, 아니요, boat.
Boat. Oh, yes,
네,
true.
네,
Yes,
네, 네.
yeah.
배는 곰이에요.
You're right.
네. So 배, it could mean stomach.
Right.
So it can mean boat.
Okay.
It can mean pear.
On pear.
네,
Right. So many meanings for the word be. In this case,
네,
my pear doesn't hurt, my boat doesn't hurt, but my belly or my stomach hurts.
네.
Okay?
So 배가 아파서 이거는 it's from this adjective 아프다, right?
아프다. Yeah.
네. 그래서 근데 이거 weak vowel이에요. 그래서 gets deleted.
Yep.
이거 여기 아 있어요. 그러니까 아요.
Okay. So present tense I can conjugate 아프다 to 아파요,
네.
right? And this verb can be used for sick or hurt or
Right.
sore,
Right.
right? So you can hear this verb in different situations.
네.
Okay, so in this case Minsu is saying his stomach hurts.
네.
And then 못 왔어요,
못은 이제 cannot. Right?
cannot, right?
이거는 이제 do not. 근데
Yeah. Okay, so again in the question Betty is asking like why didn't you come to school, Minsu,
Right.
yesterday? And Minsu's response is I couldn't come.
Right.
So 못 says I couldn't come.
right.
Here why didn't you come with an?
Right.
So why? Because his stomach hurt, he couldn't come.
Right.
Or he couldn't come because his stomach hurt.
네. 배가 아파서 못 왔어요. 그래서 이건 못 the s down here,
Yeah,
but 못 왔어요.
right.
네.
And even though we have a vowel next to it,
네.
we don't hear the sh or
맞아요.
s
네.
sound out of it. So it's just kind of
Yeah.
a D or T sound.
그렇죠.
못.
그러니까 여기 스페이스 있어요.
Right.
그러면 이제 못 왔어요.
Okay. So this sentence
네.
is using the so
네.
suffix here to kind of bring together two different sentences, right?
그렇죠.
So our original sentence, Robert,
배가 아팠어요. The past tense, right?
right?
배가 아팠어요. Period. 그래서 여기 이제 이게 오리지널 모습이에요. 그래서
Yeah.
못 왔어요.
Okay. All right. So our two sentences can
네.
become one here. So 그래서 by itself is like reason,
네.
right? So
네.
because of
네,
or
because. 이거는 이제 그 conjunction, which
conjunction.
starts a new sentence.
Okay.
네, 근데 그 뭐 therefore, since
Sure.
or 그런
Right.
거예요? 네.
Yeah. So
because.
conjunction that's bringing the two sentences together.
아, 근데 이거는 맞아요. 근데 이거는 뭐 be difference from English conjunction
Right.
would be 이거는 it starts a new sentence
Okay.
always. So
Right.
it comes after you finish, after period, right?
Okay. All right.
네.
So one more time, our original sentence.
네, 배가 아팠어요. just one sentence is done. 그래서 therefore or because of that 못 왔어요.
Okay.
네.
So that becomes, when we have our shortened version, we can get rid of 그래.
예, 맞아요. 이렇게 이것도 하고 그리고 요 서는 always present tense예요.
Okay.
그래서 past tense 없어요. 그래서 여기 two s's 이렇게 해서 delete 해요. 아파서.
Okay.
네.
We still know that we're talking about the past because the final verb is conjugated
네.
to go with the tense.
네,
So
네.
even if I don't know when I look at 아파서, 아파서, so that never changes.
Right.
If I'm talking about the future,
네.
the present, or the past, it always looks the same way.
네.
It's the next verb.
네.
Okay. All right. So let's go down here then to
네.
look at some different examples.
네. 김치가 매워요. 김치가 매워요. We think it's spicy,
Right.
hot, especially for Western people. 맞아요?
It's okay for me.
아.
I've been hearing for 4 or 5 years that kimchi is very spicy,
아,
but I think Koreans underestimate the power of the
I
Western
see. 네.
mouth. I
네.
don't know.
그래서 again 못 먹어요.
Okay. All right. So this sentence is saying
네.
kimchi is spicy, therefore cannot eat it.
Right.
Right. So 못 먹어요, just like 못 왔어요.
네.
In this case, in the present here, it's just saying cannot eat.
Right.
Okay. So because kimchi is spicy, people cannot eat it.
Yeah. 여기 이제 subject 없어요. 그래서 same subject. We don't know who is the subject here,
Okay.
but same person.
So it could be me,
It could
could
be
be
me,
him, could
네.
be all people.
그렇죠.
Okay. Now we can make one sentence out of this.
네.
So similar to up here. So what do we have to do with 매워요?
여기는 그러니까 present tense니까 그냥 여기 요것만 하면 돼요. 그래서 이렇게.
Right. And we get rid of our period, of course,
네.
because this is one sentence.
Sorry. 네.
So 김치가 매워서 못 먹어요.
네, 네.
Okay.
그리고 이제 여기는 여기 M이 있어요.
Yep.
그래서 요 D를 이렇게
Right.
못 먹어요.
Yeah. So our pronunciation changes a little bit
네,
because of the nasal consonant
네.
that follows it. So 못 by itself has that DT ending, but when it's next to the M consonant, it becomes more of a 못 먹어요.
못 먹어요.
Yeah.
네, 못 먹어요. 김치가 매워서 못 먹어요.
Right.
이렇게.
Again, the meaning, because kimchi is spicy, cannot eat it.
Right.
All
그리고
right.
여기는 이제 past tense 있어요. 치마, skirt.
Skirt. Yep.
치마가 비쌌어요. 그래서 안 샀어요.
Okay. So here, our 상시at,
네,
that's our hint that this is talking about the past,
네.
right? So our first sentence is saying what?
치마가 expensive, 비쌌어요.
Okay.
The past was expensive.
Right. So the skirt was expensive, right?
네.
가 is indicating our topic marker.
네,
So 치마가 비쌌어요.
네.
그래서, therefore,
안 샀어요.
okay.
So didn't buy.
I didn't buy, right?
네,
So 비싸다 again means expensive.
right.
사다 means buy. If we have two
Then
of a
cheap.
상시at, then
네.
it means so
네,
without our b in
네.
the front, that would mean
cheap.
cheap.
네.
That wouldn't really make sense because it was cheap. I didn't buy it, but
네,
in a perfect world, right?
네, 네.
Okay, so how can we make one full sentence?
네, so we don't need past tense here. Okay, 그다음에 same.
Okay, so that becomes just like our sentence before.
네,
치마가 비싸서
네,
안 샀어요.
네, 네.
Okay. Yeah, simple enough.
네,
Do we have any other examples before we move
yeah,
on?
네.
Okay. Yeah, and again, EU just
EU
means reason.
Right.
But maybe just to talk about the reason is,
네,
I would use the word EU.
네.
Okay. All right. So lots of other examples to look at here.
네,
So at the top we have two similar examples.
네. 그거는 늦다,
Late.
late.
Right.
So 늦어요. Okay. when it's conjugated into present tense, 늦어요. 근데 여기에 이제 늦게 와서 이게 reason이에요. 죄송합니다. apologize.
Right.
죄송합니다.
Right. And so this 게
게?
here,
네.
this indicates it's almost like an ly in English, right?
네네.
So this would indicate like an
그렇죠.
adverb form. So our adjective form of 늦다 becomes 늦어요.
Right.
So as an adverb, 늦게.
그렇죠. 이거는 걔는 always 이거 adjective suffix.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, 그거예요. 그래서 여기 동사 verb 있어요.
Okay.
그러면 걔.
All right. So our verb in this case is 오다,
그렇죠.
to come, right? So when we conjugate that, it becomes 와,
그렇죠.
와요.
네,
So just like before,
네.
when we're talking about the reason, we tag on 서.
그렇죠.
All right. So Robert, can you read this
네.
sentence for us?
늦게 와서 죄송합니다.
Okay. So 죄송합니다. I'm sorry.
네,
Very polite way to say I'm
네.
sorry.
그리고 more sincere than saying 미안합니다.
Okay.
네.
So I'm sorry for coming late.
그렇죠.
Okay.
그래서 여기는 verb가 많이 들어갈 수 있어요. 먹다, 늦게 먹어서, 뭐 이렇게
Okay.
any verbs. 걔, adverb suffix.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So in this case, as an adverb,
네,
we're using late.
그렇죠.
So I'm sorry for coming late.
네,
In this case, it's almost the same sentence, but a little
그렇죠.
different.
네, 여긴 미안합니다. 늦어서 미안합니다.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
because I'm late.
Right. So in this case, I'm sorry for coming late. In the
그렇죠.
first case, in this case, I'm sorry I am late.
네.
Okay.
그래서 요거는 이 동사 you conjugate either adjective here, right?
Adjective. Yeah.
근데 이거는 no conjugation, just the stem plus k.
Right. Okay. Now, what's the difference with 미안합니다 and 죄송합니다?
이건 sounds more sincere.
Okay.
그리고 especially when you are saying to someone who is older than you, much older, 그러면 죄송합니다 is appropriate there.
Okay.
이거는 maybe between about the same age people, not so much age gap there.
Okay.
네,
So, can we say 죄송합니다 is a little more formal?
네, 네.
Okay. 미안합니다. In this case, like this verb ending
네, it's formal.
is
근데 it's
formal.
a formality there.
Yeah.
그런데 the listener is not that older
That much
than
older.
you. 그렇죠.
Okay.
그렇게.
All right. So those were our first two.
네.
So quite similar, these two sentences, but a
네.
little different.
네.
How about our next one here?
와 주셔서 감사합니다.
Okay.
도와주셔서 감사합니다.
Okay.
네.
So again, a little similar.
네.
Our verbs are different.
네.
So 와, just like up here, this is the
그렇죠.
verb
To come.
오다, 와요.
네.
So
오다.
in this case, I'm saying thank you.
네.
Why am I saying thank you?
Thank you for coming.
Okay.
음.
So
오다.
kind of a polite way to make a request we saw
그렇죠.
before.
네.
주세요.
주다.
So this would be 주시다.
그렇죠.
So
Thank you for your doing favor of coming for the birthday party or to
Okay.
me like that.
all right. So maybe even at the start of a meeting,
그렇죠.
people could say this
네,
to,
네,
to
네.
introduce and say, "Oh, thank you very much for coming.
그렇죠.
와주셔서 감사합니다."
네, 네.
Okay. All right. And in this case, we're not using the verb 오다. We're using 돕다,
네, 돕다.
which means
To help.
to help. Right.
네. 이건 be irregular verb이에요.
Yeah.
그래서 이렇게 be gets changed to o and then 아예요 in this case.
Right.
Strange one.
Yeah.
네.
Well, I'm not a big fan of these irregular verbs. So
네.
yeah, 돕다 becomes 도와 when we conjugate it.
네.
And in the same, just like in the case before, we're still thanking.
그렇죠.
So in this case, not for coming, but for helping.
Right.
So thank you for helping, right?
네.
감사합니다 at the end again. So
네.
instead of 와주셔서, I have 도와주셔서 감사합니다.
네.
Okay.
왜 회사에 안 갔어요? 휴가라서 안 갔어요.
Okay. All right. So now our case has changed a little bit. We're
네.
looking at a noun.
네.
Okay. So first of all, our question is why, 왜 회사에 안 갔어요? So what is 회사?
회사 company or
Office, maybe?
office. 네.
Okay. So our place marker. So 회사, office or company. 에 안 갔어요. Again,
Didn't go.
yeah, didn't go.
Right.
So in the past, 갔어요. So why didn't you go to work? Why
네.
didn't you go to the office?
네.
So this could be for yesterday, maybe
그렇죠.
for today.
Today. 휴가라서 안 갔어요.
Okay.
네.
So did I have a good reason for not going to work?
네. 그 휴가 또 방학 있어요. 그다음에 또 휴일도
Okay.
있어요. 그래서 휴일은 그러니까 뭐 Sunday나 또는 뭐 National Holiday 그런 건 especially National Holiday는 공휴일
Okay.
이렇게요. 근데 휴가는 it's a vacation from your work.
Okay.
그다음에 방학 학 있어요. Like 학교.
Like school? Yeah.
네. Vacation from school. 이렇게. 네.
Okay. Yeah, I learned 방학 as kind of break.
네. 네.
So you could have maybe summer
Summer
방학,
break.
winter 방학.
네. 네.
Okay. And 휴 by itself, that seems to mean rest.
그렇죠.
Is that
right.
from
한자.
한자?
네.
Okay. All right. So anytime you see 휴,
그렇죠.
it's a pretty
저-
good hint that it has something
네.
to do with not working
Right.
or resting or something.
네.
Okay. So again, because 휴가 is a noun, we change
Yeah.
our reason suffix a little
그렇죠.
bit.
Right.
Okay, so 휴가 here is ending in a vowel sound.
Right.
So I just add 라서 instead of 서 by
Right.
itself. Now, if I'm using 휴일, I would have a final consonant.
그렇죠. 휴일이라서.
Okay, so just one extra syllable.
네.
So 휴일이라서 휴가라서.
네.
Okay, so because it's a day off, I didn't go.
Right.
Okay, again, our reason is the day off. So because it's a day off, I didn't go.
Right.
Okay. All right, and you said 공휴일 would be national holiday.
Right. 네.
휴일 by itself would just be a day where you're not
그렇죠.
working.
Right. 네.
Okay. All right.
네.
Our final examples here.
왜 꽃을 샀어요? 친구 생일이라서 샀어요.
Okay.
왜 꽃을 샀어요? 친구 생일이라서 샀어요.
Okay. So in this case, we have 왜 again. Why? 꽃을 or 꽃을
꽃을
샀어요. So 꽃,
flower.
flowers, right? So again, this is a funny word in terms of pronunciation,
네, 네.
but we see kind of the final ch ending,
네.
but it sounds more like a D or a T.
Right, right.
In this case, though,
Yeah, we're gonna carry over
so 꽃을,
꽃을.
right?
Original sound.
The original sound, right?
네.
So 꽃을 샀어요. So why did you buy flowers?
네.
샀어요 for the past,
네.
and the reason is
친구 생일이라서 샀어요.
okay. All right. So again, our noun here. So we add 이라서 because final
네.
consonant. So just
네.
like with 휴일,
네.
생일. So 친구 means friend.
Friend,
생일 means
birthday.
birthday.
네.
So it's my friend's birthday,
음.
so I bought flowers. Or
그렇죠.
because it's my friend's birthday,
네.
I bought flowers.
네.
Now, I don't see a possessive here.
아, 네. 그래서 이렇게 해도 좋아요.
Okay. So 친구의
음.
생일이라서 샀어요.
네.
Or just like this.
그렇죠.
Okay.
그리고 꽃은 counting unit 이거예요.
Right.
송이.
So 꽃을 한 송이.
한 송이, 두 송이, 세 송이.
Right. So again, our counters in Korean,
네, 네.
we always use the pure Korean numbers.
그렇죠.
With that. Okay. All right.
네.
So quite a few examples there.
음흠.
So it's always important to remember that we never change the tense
음.
when we're using
그렇죠.
the
서.
so with the first verb.
네.
So yeah, I don't know if I think the order is a little different in Korean to think of the reason,
Reason
So,
first
yeah.
and the result later. Result later.
result
It's
later. So
always like that.
reason first, result later.
그렇죠.
Okay. All right. Lots to practice. Lots to practice there.
네.